Two balls and a strike to count on Taylor. Reyes fires, swing and a drive, deep left field. This is way back. Walk the ball. Let's
What's up, Dodger fans? Welcome into DodgerHeads, presented by DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel, host of this show, and Scott Geirman joins me today from DodgerBlue.com. Scott, I want to have a conversation with you that I think Dodger fans everywhere are having at work, at home, on the phone, via text message, which is this. Did the week off during the wild card series help or hurt the Dodgers? Was this a week of rest or a week of rust? Obviously, we look at the results. The Dodgers had home field advantage and lost. The Braves had home field advantage and a week off and lost. The Yankees had home field advantage and a week off and got pushed to the brink by Cleveland. That series went 5 games. And so I think it's a fair question. So I'll let you share your thoughts first. The week off during the wild card series, did it help or hurt the Dodgers?
I think specifically for the Dodgers, I think it hurt them more than it helped them. I know a lot of players and members around the organization said the week off definitely helped them. But we have to remember the Dodgers offense was a little bit lackluster for, a good bit of time heading into the playoffs. It was all like this, this week would provide a little bit of a reset, and it really did not. It was the Braves and the Dodgers had a lot of similarities there. They had one game where they kind of, put it together a bit, and I think for the Dodgers, it was game 1. They had the offensive outburst against Mike Clevenger. And the rest of the time, it was a struggle for runs. It was like, they played situational baseball, throw a party. So it was definitely Braves and the Dodgers had a lot of similarities that they struggled immensely. The Yankees aren't having that much of an output. It definitely put up a fight, and it, like you said, it pushed to 5 games. Astros, same thing. They won that series, but they didn't look like the offensive juggernaut.
Yeah, it was a grind.
It was definitely a grind against the Mariners, who are really a fantastic young team. But none of the teams that had a bye week, really dominated their series.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Astros. It looks like domination, but I mean, when you go 18 innings, 0-0, like I think that tells you kind of what you need. I'm actually going to take the opposing view here. I know the Dodgers lost, but I don't think actually it had anything to do with the week off, and here's why. First of all, because they had the week off, they were handed a massive advantage over the Padres, which is game 1 was Julio Urias versus Mike Clevenger. And game 5, if the Dodgers had made it there, would have been Julio Urias on totally normal rest, once again against Mike Clevenger, or against somebody like Yu Darvish on short rest. And so I think the most that Major League Baseball could basically do is give you a week off, allow you to set your rotation, and give you a massive pitching advantage in 2 out of 5 of the games. Unfortunately, the Dodgers never got to game 5, so it didn't matter. So I think that's one piece where I would say just structurally it helped. Now, that doesn't answer that rest versus rust question, but here's why I think that the rest wasn't the issue. The Dodgers scored 5 runs in the first 3 innings of game number 1. Like, if the Dodgers had come out and lost like 7-1 in game 1, and they go 0-9 to start the series with runners in scoring position, and obviously Julio didn't look great and Kershaw didn't look great, then I would say, all right, I see the argument here. The Dodgers went 0-19 in games, game 2 and game 3. Game 1, they scored 5 runs. Now, on the pitching side, did Julio struggle because of it? Maybe. Did Kershaw struggle because of it? Maybe. But then how would you explain, like, Tyler Anderson looked great? So I think overall, is it like something that is worth asking and talking about? Yes. But when I look at the results, Scott, for me, and I'll let you respond to this, 5 runs in the first 3 innings in a series in which their bats are what ultimately killed them tells me we can't blame the 0-19 on rust.
It was Mike Clevenger. That's it. They had a lot of success against him, like a ton. Like it was glaring. Like the rest of their matchups were arguably, against top pitchers, and they were. The Padres have, a top, a front end that's comparable to, a lot of top rotations around MLB. They had a lot of success against Mike Clevenger all year. So, I mean, we spoke about that. It was fairly, we both knew that they would have some success against him. But if you look back at the few weeks leading up to it, the offense didn't show any signs of like, this will be consistent success. A week off will help that. I didn't see it. I was concerned about the offense going in. That's why one of my main points was like, I need to see them start early in every single game, just so we know that it's just not a blip. I didn't put too much stock into the Mike Clevenger game. Unfortunately, I didn't want to take that sad view, but that's how I felt. I really needed to see them start against, and it looked good. They got some solo homers, but the runners scoring position is ultimately what killed them.
Yeah, no, and I think if anybody is going to counter what I said, that's the counter I'm most receptive to, which is, hey, if you're going to tell me that game one wipes out the rust argument, I'm going to tell you that Mike Clevenger wipes out your argument about game one. And I think it's a fair one. I liken it to in game four when people complained about Alex Vesia coming in the middle of an at-bat and how stupid that was and whatever. And we've heard Dave Roberts' explanation. My counter to that is Alex Vesia came in and threw 2 strikes. So if he had started the at-bat off with a couple balls, if he looked like a little bit of a mess, then I would say, hey, maybe he did get put in a bad position. But I think for me, I try and evaluate these questions kind of in a vacuum. Like, what would need to happen for me to believe that the Dodgers were rusty? What would need to happen for me to believe that this didn't hurt them? And the answer would be, tell me how they play in the first 5 innings of game one. Now, could we write that off because it's Clevenger? Absolutely. But that's who they faced. We don't have another sample size to say, well, what would they have looked like if Yu Darvish pitched game one? We just know what they looked like. They came out swinging 5 runs in the first 3 innings. And so for me, I think there's a small argument to be made about rust. But I think you and I agree, Scott. We would take a week off and not having to play in a wild card series every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So I'm not really sure quite necessarily maybe at the end of the day what we're arguing here, right?
No, I totally agree. Yeah, that's the benefits definitely outweigh, a week off and how that kind of will disrupt a rhythm a little bit. Maybe, I mean, it's not maybe. The only way that they can avoid this going forward, or that much of a layoff, is definitely change the matchup or the mentality of them going prior to the playoffs. It definitely felt like there was a little bit of a lull, and it ended up being what brought them down.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let us know what you think in the comments below. Did the week off help or hurt the Dodgers? Was this a case of rest or a case of rust? That's Scott Geirman of DodgerBlue.com. My name is Jeff Spiegel. As always, thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And of course, go Dodgers.